Artists basically communicate things that are happening around us, key events that are happening in ways that people usually don't see through news media and other kinds of outlets, right? And that can serve as a catalyst. That can serve as a moment where people encounter it, and psychologically and emotionally they understand it and interact with it. And when they do that, that's when new ideas emerge. That's when change can happen. That is what the role of the artist is. That is the role that I demand that students occupy when they come here. And they're brilliant at it.
I studied at the Columbus College of Art and Design in my undergrad, and I was working on making compostable paints because I was really interested in the environment and I was trying to connect my artistic practice with sustainable practices. And then my professor told me about the project here, True Pigments, and I fell in love with the idea.
The True Pigments project is taking pollution, which is a result of man-made activities, coal mining, and we take that pollution and we actually intercept it before it has a chance to pollute the streams. And we take that pollution, we neutralize it, and we take the byproduct of that, which is iron oxides. And those iron oxides we turn into pigment. That pigment is sold on the market, and that generates funds, which actually pays for the cleanup of the stream. We take students, we bring them out into place, and we let them know that they can have an impact while they're here, while they're a student. They are useful. Their ideas are not simply academic exercises. Their ideas can be put into practice while they're undergraduates or graduate students here, and they can see their own impact on the land here.
You see this devastation of this water coming out, and it goes down this hill, and you see this sort of scaffolding effect of iron oxide. And seeing that, when I saw that in person, it was kind of a spiritual moment. I suddenly understood this guy digging one hole, devastated for probably about 1/8 of a mile, this land. All of these trees were falling over. You could see where the water had hit them. You could see where the soil was toxified because nothing could grow. And then where the iron oxide never touched on the sides, plenty of trees. On this project, the work that I do is kind of facilitating the pigment along every single step. So from harvesting it out of the river with Lowe's buckets, to draining it through and filtering it and sifting it, and then drying it, transporting it so we can dry it, laying it out. I've built the system that we dry it inside of, and then we have to grind the pigment, and then we even fire it. So I have been embedded in every single step of this pigment, from pigment making to the paint making, and then I also create the drawdowns that we use to basically test if it's quality pigment.
The other thing is that there's this aspect to her research which integrates land, it integrates environment, and it really dovetails with this view that I think our project members have, which is that we work past institutional boundaries. We work past discipline divides, and we see where it all intersects, how we operate as a society and as a human species, how we interact and integrate with our environment and everything else. So she understands that, and she's interested in that, and that's a key component of her research.
In my practice, I do land art. So it's seeing the land as your medium. Just as a painter would see paint as their medium, we see the land as our medium. So creating something aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, and also seeing that the way the land changes over time after you've made your intervention, that's part of the art. So I actually tore out someone's backyard and replaced it with native plants. So that way I could support the local ecology. And so it really helps me see this as a holistic system that I as an artist can work within instead of outside of. Working with True Pigments has really made me see the environment as a collaborator, right? This is a chemical process that happens in the environment, and I see the bacteria, you can see the little holes they make where they're essentially breathing out. I realize how alive everything is. Just because something looks dead doesn't mean it's dead. It is quite alive, and as an artist, that's something I can work with. I have a lot of gratitude towards this project. In the simplest way, it makes me feel useful. It makes me feel like I can get my hands dirty and I can enact physical change on the environment and for the better.